What's happening, everybody on YouTube? Steve here, Raiken Profit, RaikenProfit.com, coming back to you with another live video. I'm having a fantastic day today so far, and hopefully you are as well. Received a really awesome comment on my YouTube channel. It was in one of my last live videos, and they had put out a post pretty much talking about the wrong way to price your items on eBay, and they made a bunch of good points. So I'm actually going to rehash some of the things that they had mentioned in the comments and throw my 2 cents onto it as well. But here's the honest truth. Most people, especially beginners who are selling on eBay, they're pricing their items the wrong way on eBay. This is something you need to really learn how to do. Price your items the right way, because if you price your items the wrong way, it doesn't matter how good of pictures you take, listing description, you've got your shipping station set up, your inventory management, you're going out sourcing a bunch of items. If you get this wrong, man, you're gonna have a tough time. What's going on, Jameson? Good to see you, Susie. Yeah, I know I got the light beams shooting down at me. Let me see if I can angle this a little better. All right, maybe that's a little bit better right there. I apologize about that. But you wanna learn how to price your items the right way, not the wrong way, okay? So the wrong way to price your items on eBay, and this is what a lot of beginners do, is they just guess. Yeah, they just guess. They say to themselves, well, this is a cool item. Maybe it's a Ralph Lauren polo shirt. They said, this is cool. You know, it's a Ralph Lauren polo. At the store, they're selling for $79.99 new. This is used, so I'll put it up for $59.99. That's the wrong way. You're just 100% guessing, right? So that's one of the incorrect ways to do it. The more sophisticated yet still wrong way to price your items on eBay is, and let me dive right into it, is looking at the sold listings and just like taking a quick peek. So for example, maybe you're selling a Ralph Lauren polo shirt and you type that in and you hit sold listings and you see a couple that sold for $50 and you're like, boom, okay, that's what it's worth, $50. You need to dive in a little deeper, investigate a little bit more, because just looking at the sold listings isn't going to tell you the complete story. So the first thing you want to do is take a look at the sold listings. So if you go into your eBay app on your phone, which if you're out in the field sourcing clothing or shoes or whatever it is you're sourcing to sell on eBay, make sure you have the eBay app on your phone. You can click the sold listings and look, but take a better look at the sold listings to see a complete story, right? So some of the things that you're going to want to do when you're looking through the sold listings is, number one, dates of sales. So maybe, for example, that Ralph Lauren shirt, you see that maybe it's a specific one with a specific embroidery. Maybe that specific item sold for $50, but it sold 7 months ago, and there's no other sales that are comparable. That's going to be a little rough. Whereas, what if you saw that same item sold 4, 5, 6, 7 times in the last month? The frequency of sale, the relevancy of sale, and the date of last sale are very important factors to consider when you're looking through the sold listings. So don't just look at the sold listings and take a quick snapshot. It's okay if you're paying 50 cents or $1. And especially if you're a veteran and you've been in the game for as long as I have or other sellers, you don't have to go as in-depth with this whole entire process. But this video is really for that beginner, for that newbie, for that person who's just kind of diving in. Because once you are in the game for a little bit of time, 3, 6, 9 months, you don't have to go as deep. So I just want to put that out there. But check the sold listings for how many sales are happening in the last 30 days, right? What's the frequency of sales? What's the relevancy of sales? All because a Ralph Lauren item sold 10 times, it might be a completely different style or embroidery or pattern or size. You've got to really dive deep into the item specifics and find a comparable sale. In real estate, right? A lot of real estate agents will list single family homes based on comparable sales that have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, similar square footage. Maybe it has a big backyard. Maybe it's within proximity of a school. So the more item specifics that you can match up to the sales, the better that you're going to be able to do at determining the value. Another great thing that you can do is check the completed listings. The completed listing is going to give you a little bit better story of the market demand. How many items have been listed and haven't sold? So if you see the green sales, that means the item is sold. If you see it in red, you know that it hasn't sold. So maybe a lot of these items are being listed, but maybe a lot of them aren't selling. So by checking the sold listings, you can get a big picture of how many listings are being completed versus how many are actually selling and not selling. Maybe they're consistently becoming or getting relisted. So you can also check the completed listings, especially when you're new, or if you're dealing with a specific rare, maybe higher end item where it's a little riskier. Check the solds. Susie Beach is saying, yes, check the solds. So to recap so far, check the sold listings, but dive deep. Find comparable sales. Match up as many item specifics as you can. Make sure that the date of sale is something that's been in with the last 30 days or so. There's nothing wrong with going with a longer tail item, but just remember, if you're investing $5 into an item that's going to sell for 60 or 70, it doesn't necessarily have to sell every month. Maybe it sells a couple times every quarter, but you want to make sure the profit margins are up longer tail when you're dealing with longer tail items. You can take less of a profit if that market demand is there and these items are selling really quickly, right? Just minimizes risk. When's the last date of sale? Check the completed listings. Are a lot of items being listed and not sold? Another great tip that this person left is check the shipping prices. Sometimes the prices of items will be really high because they're big and heavy and there's no shipping, like it's free shipping because it's maybe local pickup. So definitely make sure that these items that you're comparing are, direct, seller to buyer shipment versus a local pickup, because you might see all these items selling for 180 bucks, but it's local pickup, whereas most of them are really only selling for 110, but they're shipping it out for $50 or $60. So that's another great tip right there. Quality of listing is going to determine the value as well. Maybe you're noticing that this one specific shoe is selling for 25 to 30, 80% of them, but then you see the other 20% are selling for 60. Why? Dive into that. Maybe it's because the sellers are taking great pictures. Maybe because those sellers are taking awesome descriptions and they're listing all the measurements and all the identifiers that a customer would need. Maybe these sellers that are into 20% have great feedback. Most of the time it's going to be picture quality and a description. Those are going to be big determinants in the value of an item, because again, consumers want to have all the information in one place before they make that buying decision. So giving all the measurements, item description, if there's any issues with it in the description, alongside with a whole plethora of high quality multi-angle pictures, that's going to really help out big time right there. So that's another tip. And overall, at the end of the day, after you do all of this, and again, if you're new, you're going to want to go through this process. But if you're like myself, or you've been in the game for a year, 6 months, you don't have to beat a dead horse and go through every step, because you kind of feel it out with your intuition. But you want to be somewhat conservative with your estimates of value, right? If the market is dictating a price anywhere between 50 to 100, but 80% of the market is going between 50 to 70, and then maybe the other 20% is $70 to $100. Be conservative. Don't say, oh, it's going to sell for 100, especially if you're new, especially if you don't have the greatest, photography setup, nice looking backdrop. If you're new, I would say maybe it's worth 60, maybe it's worth 55 or 70. And if it sells for more, then great. But especially when you're new, you want to build in some padding for mistakes, for shipping errors, so on and so forth. So I'd be curious to know, what other tips do you have for eBay sellers pricing their items correctly? I would love to shout out who left this comment. I actually posted this on my Instagram as well because I thought it was so insightful. So I want to credit whoever that is who left that comment on my YouTube. I also posted on Instagram, so big shout out to you. I'd credit your name if I remembered it. I apologize about that, but I thought that was a really insightful comment, and I just wanted to elaborate a little more on it. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a big favor and smash that like button. We got 113 people watching live. I think we can hit 100 likes right now. I'm fairly confident we can hit 100 likes. Looks like we got Gabriella in the house. Liquidation OH. If you guys aren't following Liquidation OH, be sure to give him a follow. He's been really crushing it on the live videos lately. Big shout out to Liquidation OH. Good to see you, DJ. Yeah, pictures are worth 1,000 words. They really help out a lot. Definitely being new makes a huge difference. I have to post 25% lower because I only have 45 feedback. I don't think that you really have to lower your prices by 25% if you have 45 feedback. I think that's perfectly fine. I would price competitively. with 45 feedback, I would focus on creating really clean, crisp, distraction-free pictures, making sure you fill out 8 to 12 pictures, especially if you're dealing with clothing or shoes. Make sure you have a solid return policy, maybe 1-day business turnover shipping. You know, I think 45 feedback is good. I don't think it's gonna hurt you that much compared to like 0 to 5 feedback. That's when people kind of get a little more sketched out. Tom Hardy says, I'm listing and listening. That's awesome. How many items are you guys or girls planning on listing today? I wanna know, how many items are you gonna be listing today and how long is it gonna take you? We got Adam Christie in the house. Yeah, I just got done meeting with my last real estate agent that I've been interviewing. So I interviewed about 5 or 6 agents this week. And I think I know the one that I'm gonna pick. So I'm pretty excited about it. Been learning so much about real estate. Gonna be getting into a 3 or a 4 family multi property. So really excited about that. Having a lot of fun. You know, over the years, I've learned, you guys have seen my journey. You know, I've learned how to make money, right? Making really good money right now with all the different businesses. You know, I come from a Jewish family, so I've always been good at, you know, saving money. So I've learned how to save money, how to, you know, budget my money, how to grow my money. But I haven't learned really how to truly invest my money. And I'm looking to take that next step right now with real estate. So it's just been a really fun journey learning so far. Robert says, did 20 listings. That's awesome. The House of Mini Trucks. That's the greatest name ever. Good to see you here again. Shooting for 5 listings today. You know, if your sales are slow, if you feel like you're in a slump, maybe you're seeing that downward trend, best advice is list. Go into your death pile. We all have a death pile, and there's typically the 20% cream of the crop in that death pile, and then there's like 80% of junk a lot of times. Go list that cream of the crop right now, and then start, you know, digging into some of those items that maybe are selling for 15 or 20 bucks. Start listing that death pile. The best way to beat slow sales is to list. Now, it's kind of like going on a diet, right? You might be eating healthy this week and you might not be seeing the results, but a lot of times a couple days later, your stomach's less bloated, a couple pounds dropped off, you know, you're eliminating all the salt, so you're eliminating and excreting a lot of the water. So maybe a week later, you feel the benefits of eating healthy the week before. It's the same thing with an eBay business. You might list really hard this week and sales still might be slow, but the next week it's gonna catch up. It always happens like that. So the best way to beat slow sales is to list. Also make sure that you're listing quality items. You can list all day long, but if you're selling a bunch of junk in the trunk, things aren't going to be selling. So DJ says 3/4 of my 2-car garage is my death pile. Oh man, DJ, you really got to get listing. Digit Course says you are a great inspiration to everyone. Hey, I appreciate that, Digit Course. Thanks so much for watching and for the kind comments. DJ says I'm working on it. Create a listing goal every single day. Just every single day, list 5 or 10 items. Antonio asks, should you use stock photos? I don't use stock photos. I think that customers, maybe it depends on the item that you're listing, but I think customers trust real photographs versus a stock photo. It's always easy to tell the difference. And if I see a stock photo, my first reaction is like, is this a scammer or is this some crap from China? Just, that's my first reaction. Is this going to be what it actually is? So I think that's why, you know, eBay is like such a firm believer in, you know, taking pictures. It's important. How many passive incomes do you have? I don't know my total right now. Off the top, probably, well, passive, probably like 3 or 4 passive ones. Obviously Amazon and eBay and local selling isn't passive at all, but you know, I've got my Kindle publishing business, affiliate marketing, YouTube channel. Shopify is semi-passive once I get the ads converting and whatnot. And various products that I sell and stuff. But Amazon FBA is somewhat passive once you get all the items shipped off. You could kind of chill out for a little bit. But if you take your foot off the pedal for too long, the sales start to slowly dwindle down, right? So it's kind of the way it is. The same thing with YouTube as well. Like in terms of my YouTube ad revenue, if I stop putting out videos, the ad revenue will slowly start to go down. Now it's not huge money. It's good. It's a couple $1,000 or more a month. So it's not like I'm relying on it, but you know, to keep the AdSense revenue going, you got to keep putting out more videos. The same thing with Shopify as well. If I'm not consistently launching new advertisements and sending out emails through my, you know, through ConvertKit and whatnot, and launching new products, it'll slowly go down. With eBay and Amazon, it's the same thing. So I think a lot of people have a misconception about what is truly passive. For me, I'll define something as passive to the point where like I could walk away from it for a little bit of time and it won't like completely drop to nothing, but you have to constantly go back and nurture it and water that plant so it continues to grow, or at least maintain it. So it looks like I got these heavenly lights coming back down again. So yeah, if you guys are enjoying this, be sure to hit that like button. If you go over to RaikenProfit.com/question, RaikenProfit.com/question, you could fill out a form and ask me a question. And I'm going to be featuring some of my subscribers on my channel by answering their question, shouting out their, you know, their full name or their social media profile or whatnot, and answering questions live on YouTube. So check that out, RaikenProfit.com/question. If you have any questions that you would like me to answer live on YouTube. But yeah, today's gonna be a great day. Hopefully you guys have an amazing day. Appreciate all the love. Thanks for all the likes. Looks like everyone's smashing that like button right now. If you have a question, hit me up over there. Oh, Georgia Bound with a $5 super chat coming to the rescue. You are such a great inspiration to so many of us small-time sellers. Hey, you know what? When it comes to eBay and Amazon, I'm a small-time seller as well. I'm not a huge seller. Some people think, oh, you got a YouTube channel, you're some big hotshot. I've never claimed to be a big hotshot. I just do what I do. I have a lot of fun. You know, I enjoy getting outside and spending time with my mom and my family, and, you know, not trying to make $20 million a year. Nothing wrong with it. Maybe, I know one day I'll be a millionaire, but I'm just slowly chipping away, enjoying life, tasting different businesses, and traveling, and, you know, having a lot of fun. So I appreciate that. I'm a small seller as well, and I try to add as much value as I can. And if I don't know the answer, you know, I'll bring somebody on and interview them. Oh, the pretty lady. You already know. Hey, thanks, Lauren. So I'm going to get rolling. Thanks again for that super chat. Thanks for all the love. Thanks for all the likes. See you guys in the next video, and have an amazing day. Talk to you in the next one.